But yeah, episode 22.
22, mate. Two little ducks.
You remembered a bingo call.
Mate, I've been waiting for this episode just so it seems relevant.
Do you know anything between two little ducks and two fat ladies?
I could Google it.
All right, well, that's something to look forward to for me anyway.
Bloody oath it is, mate.
All right, what's in this episode?
Righto, this episode we've got some very exclusive Wagyu beef. We've also got some artwork done of the Pope. We've also got an epic man cave that's attached to a ranch that's attached to 2 runways. And we've also got a unique way of selling a smoker via a raffle. So let's crack into it.
Yeah, okay, I'm excited. All right, well, let's just jump straight into it this week, and we're going to get into the fuck up of the week. And this video was shared by Perillas Argentina, so let's watch. So it looks to be a tray inside a pizza oven, maybe?
Yeah, or a really big smoke box. Oh, that looks good, though. Heap of sausage. Oh, no. Oh, mate's just dropped his whole tray of sausages on the dirty floor and there's no saving them.
Nah, I feel like people have been dropping sausages on the floor since the beginning of time, though.
Oh, 100%, mate. It's a lower demographic food, it's considered sometimes, so they've probably just got dusted off and chowed.
Yeah, I feel like he does, though, drop these in what looks to be a heap of ash from the barbecue. So at some point you could probably just dust it off, but I think at this point here, probably needs a wash under the tap.
Going to use those sausage juices for some good gravy, but that's not going to buff out.
No. It's a good looking tray of meat, though.
Yeah, I'd smash.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. Now, this is not really a fuck up. It's somebody who has tried to create a pizza, and I think they're trying to cause some angst because this is probably one of the weirdest pizza combinations I've ever seen in my life.
It is very weird, but I still would give it a crack because I'm a fan of all shapes and sizes of pizza. I'd still give this one a go, I reckon.
Right. Well, this was posted by Pizzas with Threatening Ioras.
That is very threatening. It's intrusive to a lot of people.
So if you can't see it, the combination is beetroot, liver, bacon, pickles, pizza.
It's pretty well a burger pizza, in my opinion.
With liver?
Liver has that texture of burger patties sometimes.
I'm going to notch this one up as us getting to the bottom of the internet so that you don't have to.
We're going to put this on the menu one day.
So there's no other context to this pizza at all. My guess is the beetroot's actually in the base, which explains the colour because it's a red base. But then there's no beetroot on the pizza, but what you can see on the pizza is liver, bacon and pickles on top.
I'd still give it a crack, mate.
There was actually bugger all comments. I think people were in shock, to be honest. Scott says, okay, pineapples are now safe until we resolve this.
There's worse things out there to put on pizza, trust me.
If you have seen a worse pizza combination than this, let us know because this is now at the top of my list for worst combinations I've ever seen.
Are you pro or against pineapple?
You know what? I'm against it because I don't like it personally, but I feel like whatever you put on pizza that you like is good enough. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Couldn't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm team pineapple all day.
Okay. Every time I get a pizza that's not pepperoni, by the time I finish it, I'm like, I wish I had pepperoni. It doesn't matter what combination I get. I always wish I just got a pepperoni pizza.
This is coming from a man whose food pyramid is pizza.
I didn't get this big for nothing, Sigh. Okay. You sent me this one. This was posted by Things Only Get Weirder, and this is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
This is offensive. Like, the more you look at it, the less you understand. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So basically what we've got here is someone has recreated a corn cob, but they have used different teeth. You down the bottom there, you've got all the molars, you've got some chrome ones, and then the teeth come up to the incisors and the teeth and all that up the top, and it's just like, why?
At first glance, it's a corn cob, right? But then you have to look at it just a little bit and it really starts to take shape in front of your eyes.
It does, and it's very, very insulting to the eyeballs.
I feel like this is what the tooth fairy eats for dinner.
I don't know, man. What's she going to chew it with?
Brendan in the comments said, grilled corn. Get it?
I get it, Brendan.
All right, let's move on. Dishes of the week.
Save this episode.
Yeah, this is where we get to eat vicariously through the screen at other people's food. And you know what? We're probably going to have to start moving the fuck-ups to the week to the end of the episode because by now I'm already turned off. We've got to build back into some sort of normality.
I definitely wouldn't want to finish on that corn cob.
Yeah, no, I'd feel pretty dirty. I'd go and shower after that. Okay. This is the first one. It was posted by Ashley Tunley, and he posted it to Smoking Meat, which is a group with 1.1 million members, and he posted, "This is tonight's feast. What do you think?"
I think it is fan-bloody-tastic. So you've got a nice big spread there of a heap of different proteins. We've got beef rib, looks to be a pastrami beef rib as well. A couple of different sausages, some sliced turkey, beef cheek, and all the trimmings. Like, look how good those salads and complements look.
Yeah, he's done a cracking job of this platter. So 1.1 million members. How many comments do you think this got?
Thousands.
17.
Wow.
Tough crowd.
It must have been an off night.
It's a tough crowd. Paige said, "Looks delicious, but I don't understand the plain bread slices. But I see that on many platters. Maybe someone can enlighten me."
I was this old when I found this out, when you actually enlightened me earlier. So what's going on with that bread?
I'm not sure if this is true, but I did see on another video, and I don't remember it to credit it, but he claimed that the bread is not for eating, it's to use as a napkin.
Wow.
Now, when you think about it, if you did use it as a napkin, by the time you were finished, you'd have this nice little meaty bread slice.
You definitely would. I do love finishing a meal with a good bit of bread, you know. You might not be full all the way, so you smash down some hollow carbs like that and it just tops the meal off. But yeah, I'm with you. If I'm tucking into that platter, there's going to be some mess. The bread's going to be nice at the end of it, mate.
Yeah, Joe in the comments said, "Too heavy on the sides, light on the meat." I mean, this just proves you can't win.
You definitely can't win it. At least 50-50, and if it's in favour of something, it's in favour of the meat.
I want to say there's more meat there. But anyway, it's a fantastic looking platter. You know, if someone's at home and doing this as a hobby, that's as good as it gets.
It's cracking.
Okay, so let's move on. Now, this one would actually make Joe happy from the comments of the previous photo because this thing's pretty much all meat.
Oh, you reckon he'd be happy with that potato salad, mate? I mean, I would be. Good half chook going on there, so a couple of snags, some nice thick sliced briskets, some pork ribs and some wings.
Yeah, it's a great looking platter. I feel like it's 50 shades of brown.
Yeah, they need some pickles or something on there. I think that's why they make the pickled onions pink, isn't it? So at least it's a bit of contrast to break it all up.
Yeah, well, this was posted by Jonathan Moore on Facebook, and he says, "Not bad for a Sunday lunch."
Fuck, how many mates you got coming around?
It's done well. He's even managed to get his own dogs in the photo. Have you noticed that?
The toes.
You knew. So my daughter came home from school and she started referring to toes as dogs. Have you heard this before?
That's probably a millennial thing.
So anyone with their toes out, she says they've got their dogs out.
Is it Skibbity or Sigma?
I don't know. That's what the cool kids are calling them these days, by the way, the dogs. So well done. Great looking platter. Yeah, maybe Joe might not be a fan of the bit of potato slaw, but I think that would be a bit of a welcome break between all this protein he's got going on.
Yeah, it's a cracking looking platter, mate. You've done absolutely awesome.
All right, next one.
That is a Bloody Mary garnish, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, this was posted by Flaming Tomahawks Barbecue in New Zealand, and it's a Bloody Mary burger.
Yeah, nice. Looks good.
It's 100% New Zealand beef patty, tomato, cheese, McClure's pickles, a Bloody Mary mayonnaise, and then a croissant bun. And then he's got a cocktail skewer in the top with bacon, a pickle, a prawn, cheese, and an olive.
Wow.
They entered this into a burger competition in New Zealand, and it came second.
Nice. That'd have to be knocked off by a pretty outstanding burger.
Yes, I don't know what the burger that came first looks like, but this is a worthy contender. And good on them for having a bit of a spin too.
Yeah, that's it. I can definitely see that one sitting at, you know, an airport bar or something in the top of a Bloody Mary and
that's a good idea.
Through them. Well, I've seen competitions where they have a Bloody Mary comp. Everyone's Bloody Mary is just pre-mixed and it all depends on what you're garnishing it with.
Yeah.
I've seen full roast chooks, all that sort of thing sitting up the top and good times, good creativity.
I want to say that Bloody Mary competition is at a place called The Shed, which is in the US, and they do an SCA competition, and the amount of stuff they manage to fit in a Bloody Mary is outrageous.
Gone are the days when it was just a celery stalk and a pickle.
No, but I like this. This is a cool little thing that you could eat, and it's not too hideous.
Yeah, no, it looks cracking.
Okay, that's the end of that. On to the news. We've got a bit of news to wrap up. I don't know much about this one yet. I've been trying to research it, but a barbecue museum is opening up very soon in the Crown Center shops in Kansas City, and it's a world first. It's the first barbecue museum.
Sounds awesome. I'm very intrigued. I'd love to know what the sort of, you know, the format and the scale of it all is.
Yeah, so they've been a bit secretive with the details, but basically the things that they have said are You pull open the smoker handle to reveal a secret entrance, and then you can explore the main regions of barbecue: Carolina, Memphis, Texas, and Kansas City. They have a sauce bar, a bean pit, and lots more to announce, apparently.
Sounds unreal. We'll better put that on the bucket list too, mate, the ever-growing list.
Yeah, so I couldn't find much, but I did find a few pictures of behind the scenes, and this is them looking at some signage they've got made, and this is their first line of merchandise too. So some cool looking hats and shirts.
Good lids.
Out of all of those regions though, Kansas City is the last one that I haven't explored. I've done the other three, but I haven't done Kansas City yet, so I've got to tick that off. And while I'm there, Museum of Barbecue.
Bloody oath, mate. Maybe you could take your future school list there and see what they think of it all.
Probably run me out of town. Okay, videos of the week. That's our next segment up on the show. And I'm going to play this one here. It was posted by La Perilia, and it says, finally a supermarket for barbecuers. What are we looking at here?
Well, we're either looking at a very well stacked rack of lamb ribs, or basically most of the lamb, or it's the prop set for the next Alien movie.
It does look a little bit like that. So what we're looking at is racks and racks and racks of what looks to be saddles of lamb. And I'm not sure why that one particular cut is in abundance so much, but that is an obscene amount of lamb in one area.
It is, all trimmed up and prepped the same way too. There's lots of cuts obviously being taken off and used elsewhere, but obviously that's what's popular in their inventory and they're rolling with it.
Yeah, so if you know what the hell's going on here, because we don't, let us know in the comments. Why is there so much of this one cut in one area? Okay, moving on. So this next one was shared by You Got Reach, and it's a sharing account on Facebook. There's no credit or link to the original video, but what are we looking at now?
A very to scale model of a pistol, a hand pistol or a gun as we call it, a functional smoker.
Yeah, it's huge.
I reckon it cooks some banging barbecue.
The caption says license to grill is wild, and that's the caption. Nothing else. There's no context. And I can't find any information about this smoker, but it's actually really, really well built. And it looks like it can handle 4 or 5 briskets.
Yeah. If you know, let us know, because it's fucking cool.
So I did try to go and find more information about this smoker. So I Googled it and I didn't find it, but I found this one.
Is this the Temu version?
So this is on Facebook Marketplace right now. It does look like the Temu version of what we just saw. It's a smoker shaped like a gun. The smoke comes out of the gun barrel. We've never used it. $200, Knoxville, Tennessee.
Do they ship?
It's a pretty sad looking gun compared to the last one, isn't it?
It definitely is. It looks like he's used a bamboo chair as the rear legs too, unless that's just in the photo.
Well, how's the back of it standing up then?
I don't know. I would have picked something better.
Okay, so $200, Knoxville, Tennessee. It's on Facebook Marketplace right now if you are looking for a smoker in the shape of a gun, but not a very good one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, I love this next part of the episode, failed or nailed, and this is where I get to throw you under the bus. I get to throw up a photo. You've got to tell me whether they nailed it or failed, and you've got to do it quickly because then we get to talk about it after. But it's kind of like your first instinct.
Let's go. Nailed. Mate, I was going to put these on the menu. I reckon this would be the sweet, savoury combination we've all been looking for.
So what we're looking at here was posted by Cattleman Steakhouse, and they called it a game changer. It's a Scotch egg with Cadbury's Scotch cream eggs, and it's an amazing sweet and savoury mix.
Yeah, mate, I'm a big fan of Scotch eggs where you wrap the parboiled egg in the sausage mince and then crumb and fry it. But I reckon this would be awesome. Like, get yourself some nice savoury mince going on, wrap it around the chocolate, deep fry it. Yeah, sweet and savoury all day, baby.
Well, I'm not about this, but, well, it's not for me, but I'm glad it's for you. Okay, next.
Oh, nailed. It's pizza. It's pizza. It's pretty well my prerequisite. If it's pizza, it's nailed.
So this was posted by I Laugh at My Own Jokes. That's what they're called. We have a strangely sliced pizza in my house because my husband refuses to cut the pepperonis. He cuts around them instead.
The more you look at this, though, it's like you have not evenly distributed the pepperoni. Like some bits have got 5, some bits have got 3. Like this bit here, 3 bits to 5. You should have just cut an L shape there. Then everyone gets the same amount of pepperoni. That's about my only gripe.
Okay, to their defense, I'm going to say this looks like a frozen pizza and they probably didn't decide where the pepperonis went.
Yeah.
And I feel like he had to make some very complicated decisions here, right, about where he cut. And he didn't want to orphan any single pepperoni.
Mate, I just would have lopped that bit off. That's dad tax. Pizza goes on the table. No one knows.
Okay, next.
Nailed.
All right, so this one was posted online. It's a prime strip steak with twice baked potato and roasted broccoli. He said he reverse seared it in an oven at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, 50 minutes, followed by a hot sear on a cast iron pan for 1 minute on each side.
That is coast to coast doneness, baby.
That's one of the prettiest steaks I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a good looking steak. And it's a good colours going on there, like the bright greens of the broccoli, the fried garlic that he's got in there too. It looks like he's added a bit of cheese onto the potato too to get that sort of caramelisation going on. But yeah, man, I'm into it.
That's what a steak should look like though. The perfect amount of pinkness in the middle and that crispy charry outside. And he's nailed both.
Bloody oath.
The comments pretty much agreed with him. This is the perfect steak. I don't think anyone said it was crap, and I don't think you could.
No. You'd have to be pretty picky if you weren't into that.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
I guess it's a fail because I don't really know what's going on. It's like you've sent me a picture and you've just sucked all the saturation out of the colour.
So this was posted by Sumo Cult 7, and he says, I got this pork sausage, and I don't know, it's pretty fatty. And it looks primarily all fat.
It looks bleached.
So I did look into it. It's sold by Smithfield, which is one of America's biggest pork brands, and it's branded as 58% lean.
Wow. It's the
So does that
opposite
mean
of
it's
black pudding.
Does that mean it's 42% pure fat?
Yeah.
Wow. So I could be wrong here, right? But I think this is what they use to make a base for gravy. For chicken fried steaks or briskets and gravy, this is what you would use. Instead of oils or butter, you'd use this to make your gravy.
So what, that just melts down and becomes lard almost?
I think so. And then you could add sausage to it or something like that. But I think that's what it's for. I could be wrong. If you know, let us know. But that's my guess, because you couldn't cook this and eat this like a sausage.
No, it looks a bit too crumbly. I don't know. I'm still confused.
We're stumped. We're absolutely stumped. It's not often we get stumped, but it looks like nougat.
It does, and it looks like he's cut it with a toy knife too. Or he's left the safety cover on it.
Okay, let's move on. Talking points. This is where we've got some photos. They don't really fit in any other categories, but it's a chance for us to talk and explore a particular topic. And this one was posted by Jorge Galindo, and he's from Galindo Smokers in the US. And this is a fully loaded 250-gallon smoker made by me, who's ready for this raffle, is what he says.
I'm really keen to, see this sort of thing happening more, because how cool would it be if you won yourself a smoker and you'd spend $150?
Yeah, so Jorge has made this smoker. He's selling raffle tickets for $55 a ticket or 3 for $150. He says once he gets to 250 tickets, boom, that's when he raffles it off and anyone can win it. And it's a cool looking smoker, right? Like it looks pretty cool.
I remember I entered a raffle once to win a van. A guy over here in Australia needed some cash and wanted to sell his van, but he ended up having to stop the raffle because he needed a gambling license to host a raffle over here, New South Wales though. So, but I think it's really cool. Like I'm pretty sure Boss Hogg's done it before in Queensland, and man, it'd be something that you could get away with. Like the missus would be like, "Where the fuck did you get that smoker from?" I thought, "Babe, $200. I won it in a raffle."
Yeah, and what we're looking at here is a really cool trailer smoker with some white wall tyres, and it's a bit of a World War II inspired paint job.
Yeah, man, got the old angry bomb. I'm happy with it.
So this is the winner. This guy here, he won it. Chris is his name, and here he is picking up his new rig. Apparently they do this raffle pretty regularly, so if you go and follow Galindo Smokers, and I really hope I'm pronouncing that right because pronunciation is not my thing, but if you go and follow him on Facebook, you can jump in and have a crack at the next raffle.
I'm sure there's a term and condition that you got to go pick it up, so if you're here in Australia, don't go buying any fucking raffle tickets.
Yeah, all right, but if you're in the States, pretty cool, hey?
Hook in. It's a sick idea.
Okay, next.
This is our man, Lukey Moonshine. He just treated himself and the family to a trip to Japan for a bit of snowboarding. Pretty sure the highlight of his trip was everything he ate. I think I turned off my notifications when he was over there because I was, I had extreme FOMO. I was sitting here in the Aussie summer and he's over there partaking in all the noms, and this is a Wagyu beef selection.
Yeah, and it goes to the next level too. So he writes, how much is too much to pay for a steak? ? Well, I guess it depends on the steak. So when he was in Japan, he goes to a restaurant and he says that this steak platter that he got here cost thousands. So he didn't really say exactly how much, but just the generic term thousands. And to put it into context, this is Maimura Wagyu, and the farm only produces 75 cows a year. So that's the quality of what he's eating. I mean, it looks fantastic. It was cooked by a certified Kobe beef chef. He uses a 7-spice seasoning, and according to Luke, it was worth every fucking cent. That's what he says.
That's amazing. Ticking off the bucket list items well and truly here. Bloody good on him.
Yeah. I feel like my travel and a lot of people's travel at the moment is starting to revolve around food.
Yeah, mine always has. It's usually how much value for money I can get and if there's an all-you-can-eat for the kids.
Don't get me wrong, I love travelling, but sometimes I'd rather experience the food than I would see monuments or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. I remember when I used to go to Melbourne for weekends, my biggest thing that gave me the most anxiety was I'd have 50 places I'd want to go and I was only in Melbourne for 9 meals. And then I'd have to narrow it down as to what I was going to go and eat.
Yeah, I think half the fun of travelling is just trying new food.
Bloody oath.
Well done, Lukey. Okay, let's move on to some new products that have caught our eye. And this one here was posted on the Owen's Barbecue store. Now, I've seen duck spray before, but this is the first time I've seen Wagyu beef tallow in a spray.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. Love to give this a try. Any Aussie guys out there? Give this a go.
Yeah, so this is produced by South Chicago Packaging. It's American Wagyu beef fat, now in a convenient non-stick spray. Good for keto and paleo, but yeah, I guess you'd use this to substitute olive oil or anything else.
Yeah, anything where you just want to get a light spray. If you're sort of seasoning your grill and it's nice and hot, a spray is often better than, squirting oil straight from a bottle if you're looking to do that sort of thing. But also too, like you could spray it on your briskets before you wrap it if you want to be a bit more sparing with your tallow and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's just another great alternative because, it's coming out now that a lot of the seed oils aren't as good for us as we've been led to believe. But it's just great that someone's taken an already awesome product and just producing it in a different way.
Yeah, I think it's really, really cool. Okay, Mailbox. We've got some mail.
Got some more mail.
I love mail. And this is an opportunity for you guys, if you want us to talk about something, to send us something in to talk about. So if you've got a photo, you've got a question you want to ask, just jump in the DMs, flick it to us, and we usually get through it in the next couple of episodes and answer people's questions. So we love it when people reach out to us. We love it when you comment. We love it when you like. We love it when you share. But we especially love it when you send us something to talk about, right? So this one is from Stacey Hart, and he's from Firefighters Can Cook. And he's got this cool little Japanese truck. That's awesome, hey?
Yeah, mate. I actually hopped in this truck at Meat Stock. There's not much room for anything else in there. His stereo is a UE boom speaker that he's put in the cup holder. He's got big plans for this thing.
Okay. He's going to turn this into a barbecue truck is what I heard.
Yeah. Obviously, he's going to be pretty restricted with what sort of weight allowance is going to have, but he's got some really cool ideas. The beauty of it for him is it'll actually fit within a 3x3 marquee size stall. So he can have this thing on site at markets and stuff like that and have everything he needs in the truck.
That's a really cool idea. And what we're looking at here, he says, I had the opportunity to cook wild pork, venison, kingfish, and yellowfish tuna for a wedding. And he said, I decided to build a fire table to cook on before the feast. And he says, nothing like an 18-hour welding mission.
Yeah, that's the thing with these Kiwis. They get an idea, neck minute, they've done it.
18 hours later, next minute, it's done.
Yeah, it doesn't stay an idea for long. It's usually executed within hours.
They're pretty handy, those Kiwis, aren't they?
Yeah, well, the guys we know are.
So let's have a look here. He said at the wedding that he catered for, he said everything was hunted and gathered by the stag party before the wedding.
That's cool.
That's really cool, right? Total cook time was 10 hours. He made, amongst other things, yellowfin tuna ceviche, popcorn crayfish, popcorn kingfish, pineapple salsa, and wild pork pulled shoulder.
Sounds epic. They love their hunting and their game over there, and they've obviously got a little bit more relaxed food safety laws that you're allowed to cook and serve your own home kills.
They seem to have a lot different rules in New Zealand than what we do in Australia regarding hunting and then eating what you've harvested. So we're not that fortunate in Australia. I think in America it's pretty common. In New Zealand it's obviously common, but not so much here in Australia. But it's really cool to see that the stag party has gathered the food to cook for the wedding, and then it's been cooked to perfection by Stacey.
Bloody oath. Absolutely nailed it, Stace.
Okay. Art by Sigh. We haven't done an episode yet, I don't think, where we haven't featured one of your artworks. And this is, for me, one of the most important, not because of what the artwork is, but for who it is for. And this guy, for me, is one of the goats of barbecue today. And tell me a bit about it.
Yeah, so this is for our man over in Texas, Ernest Cervantes, who has the Burnt Bean Co., which has just been recognised by the Michelin Star as one of their favourite restaurants around. For Ernest to actually reach out to me personally and ask me to do his next shop shirt, it was a bit of a starstruck moment, you know. I've sort of only seen him on the screen and on YouTube and that sort of thing. I'm really excited to meet him at Meatstock, but yeah, I get to do heaps of really cool artworks and that sort of thing for a lot of people around the world, and it still trips me out that people have, at the top of their game, still reach out to me without knowing me and ask me to do something cool for them. And I was actually at Meatstock in New Zealand when he reached out and said, "Hey mate, here's my idea. How do you feel about this?" It was pretty organic the way it flowed out, and I was pretty stoked with it. And then I also got a message from Bill Dumas, the sausage sensei, that happened to be in Ernest's restaurant the day I sent this through, and he came out from a busy service just to show Bill what he'd just got, and his face was all lit up and he was beaming and stoked. So to hear that's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, it's a cool design. It's very different to what the Texas style is, but I think it's awesome. And you also did this for him.
Yeah, so this is one of the little caricature avatars I like to do for a lot of the guys. And yeah, back in the day, I used to turn these into NFTs when that was all the rage, and I'd mint them and put them on the Web3, whatever they want to call it, the open sea and that sort of thing. But nowadays, I just create these, put their little Instagram handle down the bottom. People turn them into stickers, air fresheners, that sort of thing. And there's a fair few of these different characters stuck around the old Franklin's barbecue joint there. So I think I'm up to around 30 caricatures I've done for the barbecue crew. So
a funny story, you can see on my computer here, there's quite a few stickers of people that have made their way onto the back of my laptop here. But now when people come up to me and they're a pitmaster, I'm like, well, do you have any credentials? Like, have you got a Sigh sticker?
It could be the new thing. It could be...
See, it's the Michelin guide of barbecue.
It could be a prerequisite to get in that barbecue museum, mate, you know?
Got to have your own Sigh caricature. But really cool. And look, if you don't know, the Pope of BBQ, his name's Ernest Cervantes. He has a restaurant called Burnt Bean Co. It's just out of San Antonio, and it's one of the most highly regarded barbecue restaurants in Texas, a.k.a. the world today.
Yeah, and he's going to be at Sydney Meatstock, so get your tickets to that for the Fire Kitchen. Come and say g'day. Yeah, super stoked that I got to do something for the Pope of BBQ, mate.
Cool. All right, let's move on. Featured tattoos. I've only got one, and I think it's a cracker, right? I'm going to show it to you. You're going to explain what the hell's going on. Ready?
Yep. This is so clever. Basically, this guy has tattooed on the top of his hand a finger that's being buried, and he's also missing a finger, missing his wedding finger by the look of that, so the missus probably not too happy. Yeah, he's also got tattooed across the knuckles, ouch. So it's a tribute to his lost digit.
So it was posted by James Ford from Giant Peach Tattoo Studio, and it didn't even have a caption, but I don't think you need one.
Do you reckon this guy is just so scared of commitment that he cut off his own ring finger so he could never get married? He's definitely not scared of commitment, actually, because he's gone and got that tattoo.
But maybe he was married and then this is his way of being unmarried.
It could be.
Okay. Artist Spotlight. This is where we get to shine the spotlight on some artists that we think are doing some really, really cool things. And this guy is named Tom Bell, and he's from New Zealand. Tell me a bit about him.
He is, mate. Right here to my left. This is actually a piece I scored off Tom a couple of Christmases ago. I've been a fan of this guy for the last few years. I pretty much typed into the search bar hand painted, and I wanted to see some guys locally that were doing cool hand painted stuff. I came across Tom. He was doing these split heads at the time. A lot of Japanese and traditional tattoo imagery. Does a lot of stuff with acrylic paints, paint markers and that sort of thing. These are all just timber cutouts. He does a lot of stuff where he paints the old school mirrors, does a bit of sign painting, things like that. But what I'm really excited about is Tom has taken the plunge, and I can relate to this story. He's decided now he's going to be a tattoo apprentice, and he's working under Mike Todd at Monarch Tattoo in Wellington, and that is a real feather in the hat. That's going to lead to beautiful things. And yeah, I'm going to get over there, get over to Wellington, see the guys, give them some high fives, and not only sticks to physical media, you know, he does some stuff on the iPad, done some cool beer labels there for the Garage Project. They're always a good company that helps supporting upcoming artists and that sort of thing with their labeling. But yeah, really excited. Talked to Tom a fair bit online. Love supporting him, buying his shit. He makes cool T-shirts as well. Kicking ass, man.
So I can't tell you how happy it makes me to see this style of art really coming back. it seems like at a rate of knots, right? And they're kind of fusing tattoo styles with Japanese styles, hand lettering, pinstriping. They're back to using brushes, gold leaf. It's back to tradition. And I think it has a place. And I love seeing brands like, for example, Garage Project here, really getting behind artists and using them for, you know, what is here, a beer label.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. Tom does some sick stuff. Check his stuff out. I think he's got a heap of these things still available. The best way to support an artist is buy directly off them. That's how you can get involved.
Yeah, so what we're looking at here is a couple of different pieces that he's done. Some are pins. This is a T-shirt. It's really cool to see people using different mediums now. I feel like tattooing seems to be the basis of it, but then they're moving into merchandise, making cool art pieces, but also like things you can wear. That's pretty cool.
That's it. And I love the colour studies he does as well, where he sort of mixes a lot of soft pastel tones with, you know, bold lines and that sort of thing. And the one thing personally I struggled with tattooing was I didn't get the creative outlet I needed as an artist most of the time working in a small town, because sometimes what makes a good tattooist is the ability to just copy, because someone comes in, shows you what they want, you have to do that as good a job as you can, exactly like the way they want it, which is cool for some people. But for me, someone that needs to be creative and, you know, exploring my boundaries and that sort of thing, that's why I got away from tattooing and back into illustration, because I can sort of be in control more of what I'm producing.
Yeah, well, I feel like you've made it as an artist when people are lining up for your style. And they don't want something they want what you do. And I feel like you've really made it as an artist when that happens, but that's not easy.
No, definitely not. And also trends and those sorts of things change. And as an artist too, sometimes you wake up and you get sick of what you're doing and you want to try something new, and you can only just hope that it gets well received. But also too, it's just what makes good art. It's all in the eye of the person that wants to experience what you're putting down.
Well, in my humble opinion, this is good art.
Yeah, I'm stoked with it.
Okay, Pitbuilders. This is another segment where people are making cool things with their hands, and we're all about it.
Bloody oath.
What are you looking at here?
Oh, that is a sexy British racing green smoker from Brantley Creek Barbecue in Texas.
It's by Canon Pits and Fabrication in Granbury, Texas, and the caption was, "The sky's the limit. Thank you, Brantley Creek Barbecue, for coming to us for your 6th 1,000-gallon smoker." And this is a beauty.
That's a credit to the craftsmanship, you know. If they're coming back time and time again and probably joining a waiting list just to get one of your pits, you're doing some good builds.
Yeah, so it says a lot about Brantley Creek Barbecue too, because they must be churning out some barbecue if they've got 6,000-gallon pits.
Bloody oath.
So this is obviously a trailer pit. I'm going to assume that they're going to use this for events and catering, but it's a really sexy looking pit. It's got white wall tyres, looks like a cool British racing green and black colour tones.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
So this is another pit that they have on their website. It's not on a trailer, this one, but it's also 1,000 gallons. And they have these for sale on their website. $12,500 USD buys you this pit.
Wow.
It's pretty good value, isn't it?
It seems to be good value. I mean, I've never been in the market of buying a 1,000-gallon pit, but I mean, I think there'd probably be that much in just labour.
Yeah. I don't know what the science behind it is, but 1,000 gallons seems to be the universally accepted size that a smoker should be to combine quantity with quality.
It's also probably too the most commonly sized gas tank that they recycle into pits.
I'm going to say you have way more of a point than I do. All right, moving on. Canon Pits is a family-owned and operated welding and fabrication shop. And this looks sort of like a burn barrel here, I want to say on the left, and on the right looks like a hog pit, but that's really cool work.
Yeah, man, it looks properly built.
Yeah, they look
solid.
They look built really well. And I do love the little touches of the logos in their work.
Yeah, I reckon that's where they get their creative exposure from. They're just like, yeah, let's do something cool with the laser cutting here and, make it stand out.
Cool. I love it. Great work, guys. Okay. Epic Homes. Last time we featured an Epic Home, we got smashed in the comments with a 2 million view video that got 1,000 comments and something like 50,000 shares.
Well, let's see if we can double it.
Let's stay out of trouble here. I'm not going to compare it to anything in Australia, but this one is a $15 million for sale, 420-acre dune ranch, and it has its own private runways. Do you see what I did there? Runways. It's plural. They've got more than one runway.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going to skip through some of the photos here. This place is epic. It's one of the coolest looking estates I've ever seen. It has a half-mile racetrack. It has helicopter hangars, 8,000 square feet main house. It's got a caretaker's home, And I'm pretty sure as part of this sale for $15 million, it comes with everything you can see except for the helicopters.
Wow. So all those ATVs. There's a shitload. What's going on there? It's like they must have race days and everyone just keeps their stuff there. It's obviously all for the track, but you can only fucking race one of them at a time. Yeah,
I really don't know what's going on here, but someone has a lot of money and they are flaunting it.
Cashed up bogan.
In America, what would be the version of a bogan? A redneck, right?
Yeah. Rednecks with paychecks.
Have you watched some of the like mud bogging videos on YouTube they have?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen to Toowoomba if it rains too much.
It's the coolest. I love it. Sometimes I just spend hours watching these guys go mud bogging in it looks like the back of Florida.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, we need to know more and potentially get to one. They get so loose though.
Yeah, I'd be wasted there being the sober guy, but I'd still have fun.
I reckon you'd have fun. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the show now. And on the menu, what are you cooking for us?
Mate, you stitch me up every episode with failed or nailed. So this week on the menu, we've got chicken hearts.
Okay. Do you know when I like chicken hearts is when I think they're sausages and no one's told me? Do you know when I don't like chicken hearts?
When you know exactly what they are.
Correct, right? So I really hope these are good, but tell me what we're looking at here.
So basically we've got about 250 grams of chicken hearts. I've done a little bit of a light marinade overnight. So we've got some olive oil, some garlic, some fresh lemon juice and some fresh oregano. That's just all gone in together into a tub and marinated the chicken hearts overnight. And I've just skewered them and we're just going to cook them nice and hot and fast over a hot grill.
So does the marinade tenderise them or they're already tender?
They're very tender, but the marinade sort of takes away the thought, the fact that it's, was once a blood pumping organ.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go through some of the videos here that you've done. So this is the marinade. And then you have seasoned them in what?
Yeah, so we've used the Meat Stock Seafood Spitfire just for a little bit of extra zest. Chuck them on a red hot open grill. Yeah, they only need a couple of minutes. Just keep on turning them so you don't burn those sticks. And I love them. They're just a little flavour parcel, just proper popcorn chicken.
All right, let's bring them out. The thing that weirds me out about chicken hearts sometimes is that metallic taste that you get. Do you ever get that?
Sometimes. I remember the first time I tried chicken hearts, I was like you. I didn't know what they were. The Brazilian guys, when we were at Meat Stock Auckland, kept bringing us all these boxes of just different meats. And I was like, how good are those little sausages? They're like, we don't do sausage. What do you mean? I like the little end of the chipolata. They're like, oh, they're chicken hearts. And I was like... They were good. Yeah, so nice and cheap, right. Readily available. And,
Let's grab a stick and...
Cheers. There's nothing metallic there, bro.
There's nothing, but I stand by my original saying that if I know they're chicken hearts, I just can't get into the texture. And they taste great, but the texture's just not for me.
Yeah, right.
You
I'm
like
into
it?
I love it.
Okay. Well... You can have mine. Okay, we're on to the Encore now. I'm sorry, that was a bit harsh. You've got all this trouble with fucking marinating chicken hearts, and I've just shit on your parade.
That's all right, mate. There's probably a fair bit of that coming up.
Well, I don't know. You've cooked some pretty impressive things on this show.
I'm trying my best.
We haven't had many failures, and I don't think that's a failure. I think it's a win. I'm just a baby when it comes to food choices.
Mate, if it came on a pizza, thinly sliced, you'd probably be into it.
And if you didn't tell me, I'd probably be into it too.
Yeah.
Okay, Encore photo. What is it? What are we looking at?
Well, it looks like a male smoker that's returned to the nest and is feeding its young. But it's actually the opposite way around. We've got little Smoky Joe cold smoking into a Weber kettle.
Yeah, so this one was posted on Meet Dad Fans, and it says, that's a hillbilly smoker. I love it, and it's a creation by Sam Reeves. So what looks to be here, I think they're using it as a cold smoker. So I think there's enough distance between the actual fire and the Weber kettle where the heat will probably dissipate and it will turn into a bit of a cold smoker instead of a hot heat offset smoker. Yep. That's my guess anyway. I could be wrong, but it's pretty cool for smoking things like cheese. And in the comments too, a lot of people are doing this.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a revelation for me. Josh O'Brien said, glad to see I'm not the only one. And he's got a green egg there going into a cabinet smoker. And Matt says, my pellet smoker exhaust goes into a non-functional wine fridge. and he's smoking stuff in there as well.
It's sort of a bit of a flex where they're like, I'm not buying one of those stupid little sawdust cold smoking tubes. I'm going to use what I've already got.
It's a good byproduct, right? If you can cook barbecue at the same time as you smoke your cheese.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't affect the draft of the smoke sauce and doesn't over smoke what you're trying to cook hot and fast. It's a win.
Cool. All right, done. Episode 22.
22.
In the book.
I gave you my heart and you broke it. See you next Tuesday.
I'm really sorry.
That's all right.